So let's talk about colors and the color palette and how you can customize colors. So if we look at the front end, the default theme comes like with very subtle color, and it's a light mode. So for instance, if we scroll down to the footer, you see it's a light background color and then uses dark text colors, and you can switch that around, and we will actually provide in updates like dark version. For instance, if you want to have a dark version of the footer with like white or light text, we will provide that as well in future updates. Same for these kind of banners. So often on a website or on a landing page, you see that the background and the default content is white, and then you have like a dark banner. And to use that in one theme, we have a pretty detailed color palette, and it's like default and variant. So variant is for dark mode. And to change the color palette, you go under Appearance Editor again. This is the current version of site editing, so the interface will most likely change, but I can update the video then. But this is where we find styles for now. So this is just this little button here on the right top side of the editor, and then you find the colors. We will also add style variations to the theme, so you can have like color palette presets that we've created, and you can just use that if you want. But the theme, because it's e-commerce and it's most likely you maybe have a branding color or you want to set your own colors, is really set out in a lot of detail to customize colors. And you can customize colors here in the color palette, so add your own. This is most likely more more helpful to you than preset color variations we created. So what you see here is first you have the color palette, and I will go into that in a tiny bit, and then you have the main elements. So the main background, your main text color, and button color. We haven't even set this. You can just customize it through the color palette, but you can change the main primary background color of the theme here and just set it to something else if you don't want to have it completely white. And also for the primary text color, we use our text secondary color, and you could change that here. But I mainly think you will change the color palette itself, and you can do that via this button. So just change the palette, and then here we have the options. You can edit the colors. And the cool thing for changing the colors here in the palette directly is that everywhere in every pattern that we create, you will have the colors automatically applied to you. So you can just drop any kind of pattern that comes with the theme, and then you have these colors applied. So at the moment, what you see here is your background colors, your 3 text colors for like the different hierarchy of text. So we use primary for the headings, secondary for paragraph text, and tertiary for the meta text, like categories and things that are not so important. You have a text on color, so this is text on buttons or on any kind of other content that has a background already that is not the main default background. 2 borders, primary and secondary. For the primary border is for like borders on sections to really separate things on the background, and then the secondary is more borders around elements, like borders on cards and things like that. And we use these colors in the patterns. You don't need to apply them all by yourself. Then we have the brand colors, and this is something you most likely want to change. So by default in Mugistore, we decided to do like very subtle brand colors and just use black and gray. And but you can change that to your brand color. If you maybe have like a blue brand color or a green one, you can change that. And you find the same for variants. So all the variant colors, they just repeat the default palette, and this is just for the dark mode. And once we add the dark mode pattern, you will see why we need and use this color palette. So you can even choose the like star ratings colors, and you can choose to customize your input color, so the borders and the background of forms, which is super helpful. The neutral color palette, we use that for neutral buttons. there's for our Blocks buttons, we have the option to use neutral buttons, and these are the colors we use there. Then you have one accent color in variations too, and you can use that for the badges, and we have used that for items like sale, for the default e-commerce sale badges. So if you want to have anything different here, you can customize it. And as you can see, it automatically changes. So maybe you want to have that in green, so, or like blue or turquoise or something, and you can change that. Let's check out the branding color, or something I want to mention for changing these colors. So same with the background, so they're all light. So if you change them, you should stick with a light color palette. Otherwise, as you can see here, these colors are meant to have dark text on them. So if you change them, if you make them super dark, it's not readable. Therefore, if you want to have a dark like border, you should go to the variant color palette. But you can change this light rosé or something that we use here to your own version. So you can make that like more of a blue or blue grayish blue. Then the tertiary background is not even used by default, but if you, for instance, wanted to have a different color for elements like these full width banner, and you use that on multiple occasions in the theme, you can use the background tertiary color for that and just pick the color palette. Then what else can we do? Oh yeah, so for the brand color, it's the same, like it's dark now, we wanted to keep it subtle, so we just used like a neutral black and gray. But if you want to have that to your brand color, let's say maybe a dark green or so, you can see it here in the example. It changes automatically, but you should be sticking to a dark color palette. So the text is white on these buttons, so it stays readable. You don't want to like switch that to a super light color. See, because otherwise all the colors, like the fonts, aren't readable anymore. So you should stick kind of in the range. If you want to have the opposite buttons, like light background with dark text, you can use the variant style. And I show you for the buttons how to do that. So just be careful if you change the colors, kind of stick dark to dark and light to light mode, so it's continue to working. So yeah, this is mainly, so if this is darker and this is a little bit lighter, you can use the same color and you could kind of like copy paste that. And then just for the hover, this is the secondary is always used for hovers, just use a lighter variation of the same color, like so. And here we have a transparent color at the moment, but you can just choose an even more lighter color. So I can just copy and paste that color again and go even lighter. So this would be a customization of your branding colors. And if you have like fixed branding colors, of course, you could just put the hex value here, or you can even like use RGB and set the alpha value here. This is really nice that you can do that now in the customizer. So you have a lot of options for colors, and it's pretty advanced already. And why we've done this color palette so like thorough is that you can really just change anything. You can change your star ratings, which is so cool, just in the color palette, and everywhere where star ratings are applied in the theme, it changes automatically. So this is all on colors. You can click done if you're finished with your customizations, and then you can always reset things if you decide you want to change something, or like you want to start over. You can reset the colors. And one more thing that a lot of people have asked, if you don't want to change the main colors, but you maybe need an additional custom color, maybe for a specific badge or something, you can always add custom colors, and they will be available in the color palette for the blogs. So you can just do that here, and you can give it a name, like special badge or something. And you will like, you can save it and have it available in your color palettes. That's pretty handy. You can like add more. So that's something I've heard people ask, like, how can we have custom colors and just be able to pick them in the blocks? And this is how. So let me know if you have any questions. And again, we will add more patterns, and you can see the variant color palette in action. And then also we will try to kind of fine-tune the buttons option so that not all colors are available all the time. That is like a little bit of a not so ideal situation that we have at the moment, and we will try to optimize that, just to make you aware of that. But yeah, go take your time a little bit, go through the colors, and maybe I will do another like more specific video just explaining our color palette and the whole color system behind our themes, because we will use this system throughout further themes we are building too, and also in the style variations. So it's cool to be familiar with why we set it up the way we did.